of the words from the pages change your world. Your world can change your heart, change your mind, change your life. Can change your world.
All right, what's going on, my beautiful people? Thanks so much for tuning in. This is ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator and founder of New Black Wall Street. We're going through the New Black Wall Street book club or virtual book club today. We're going through the book, The 48 Laws of Power, on law number 26, part 1. And law number 26 is keep your hands clean. So we're going to talk about this today. Again, we're going through this book because it gives us this thing called strategy. That's right, strategy. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Tasha. And so what we want to do is we want to learn how to apply these laws into our life, or at the very least, we want to understand when these laws are being applied against us so that we can always operate from a position of power. Everybody put in the comments below the word power. Today's episode is brought to you by True Detergent. That's right, True Detergent, black-owned and manufactured right here in the Atlanta area. We're doing free delivery to your doorstep. We are now in Virginia, Augusta, Albany, South Carolina. Alabama, New York, New Jersey. Texas is upcoming next, and Alabama. So we are we are expanding, and we're expanding through black distributorship. So I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make that horse drink, and we're just going to keep on drinking and continue to help people move towards financial freedom. But at any rate, you can give us a call at 678-851-2400. That's 678-851-2400. A 101-ounce bottle for $15. That's 15 cents per wash. Again, here's the deal. You're going to wash your clothes anyway. The question is, are you going to practice what you preach, which is help circulate your dollar right back within your very own community by making the switch to True. True Detergent. Make the switch. All right. Okay. Yep. All right. So we do have a couple things coming up. We do have tonight, we do have our first-time home buyer seminar. So if you are an individual who's saying that, you know what, Evan, I've been thinking about buying this home, and I want to I want to go ahead and make sure I know what I need to know as it relates to that, then you want to go ahead and sign up for our first-time home buyer seminar. I'll put that in the comments here. That's the link to that. And then also tomorrow we have our Dow Jones Industrial Average, our Dow 30 session as well. I'll put that in the comments as well. You can sign up for that. That's a good place for you if you're a first-time investor and you need to learn a little bit about investing. You want to be at a Dow Jones 30 event. And then we also have our Club Millie plan presentation, and that is where we share with you everything you need to know about Club Millie, where we're helping 1,000 people save and invest $1,000 this year. And the question is, will you be one of the 1,000? Will you be one of the 1,000 as we head towards $1 million collectively, practicing what everyone else preaches, which is group economics? Why? Because we have a plan. That's right. We have a plan and do it. And you can find out all about that plan by attending one of our plan presentations. It's free to you to attend, and we'll just do that. But I'm not going to belabor the point. You can find all that stuff at www.ergj.net. Find out what you need to know. We have our recommended read section. Everything is there on the website. Just go ahead and peruse the website and find out what you need to know as we continue to move forward and continue to push forth the agenda. But day number 26, I know you don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. Day number 26, let's get it. Keep your hands clean. Keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat paws to disguise your involvement. So this is part 1. We're going to talk about conceal your mistakes. Have a scapegoat around to take the blame. Isn't this interesting? Okay. Our good name and reputation depend more on what we conceal than on what we reveal. Our good name and reputation depends more on what we conceal than on what we reveal. Everyone makes mistakes. Those who are truly clever manage to hide them and to make sure someone else is blamed. A convenient scapegoat should always be kept around for such moments. Woo, this might get a little dicey today. So we're going to talk about the keys to power here. The use of scapegoats is as old as civilization itself, and examples of it can be found in cultures around the world. The main idea behind these sacrifices is the shifting of guilt and sin to an outside figure, object, animal, or man, which is then banished or destroyed. The Hebrews used to take a live goat, hence the term scapegoat, upon whose head the priest would lay both hands while confessing the sins of the children of Israel. Having thus had those sins transferred to it, the beast would be led away and abandoned in the wilderness. With the Athenians and the Aztecs, the scapegoat was a human, often a person fed and raised for the purpose. Since famine and plague were thought to be visited on humans by the gods in punishment for wrongdoing, the people suffered not only from the famine and plague themselves, but from the guilt and blame. They freed themselves of guilt by transferring it to an innocent person whose death was intended to satisfy the divine powers and banish the evil from their midst. It is an extremely human response to not look inward after a mistake or crime, but rather to look outward and to affix blame and guilt on a convenient object. When the plague was ravaging Thebes, Oedipus looked everywhere for its cause, everywhere except inside himself and his own sin of incest, which has so offended the gods and occasioned the plague. This profound need to exteriorize one's guilt, to project it on another person or object, as an immense power, which the clever know how to harness. Sacrifice is a ritual, perhaps the most ancient ritual of all. Ritual two is a wellspring of power. In the killing of De Orca, note Caesare's symbolic and ritualistic display of his body. By framing it in this dramatic way, he focused guilt outward. The citizens of Romagna responded instantly because it comes so naturally to us to look outward rather than inward. It comes so naturally for us to look outward rather than inward. We rarely accept the scapegoat's guilt. The bloody sacrifice of the scapegoat seems a barbaric relic of the past, but the practice lives on to this day, if indirectly and symbolically. Since power depends on appearances, power depends on appearances, and those in power must seem never to make mistakes. The use of scapegoats is as popular as ever. What modern leader will take responsibility for his blunders? He searches out others to blame, a scapegoat to sacrifice. When Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution failed miserably, he made no apologies or excuses to the Chinese people. Instead, like Sosao, before him, he offered up scapegoats, including his own personal secretary, high-ranking member of the party, Chen Pota. Franklin D. Roosevelt had a reputation for honesty and fairness. Throughout his career, however, he faced many situations in which being the nice guy would have spelled political disaster. Yet he could not be seen as the agent of any foul play. For 20 years then, his secretary, Lewis Howe, played the role of De Orca had. He handled the backroom deals, the manipulation of the press, the underhanded campaign maneuvers, and whenever a mistake was committed or a dirty trick contradicting Roosevelt's carefully crafted image became public, Howe served as a scapegoat and never complained. Besides conveniently shifting blame, a scapegoat can serve as a warning to others. In 1631, a plot was hatched to oust Francis Cardinal Richelieu from power, a plot that became known as the Day of the Dupes. It almost succeeded, since it involved the upper echelons of government, including the Queen Mother, but through luck and his own connivances, glossary term of the day, but through luck and his own connivance, what the monkey? Connivances, I can't say this word. All right, vocabulary word of the day. Connivances, connivances, what the monkey? Connivances. Let me look this up real quick. This one really got me stuck here, guys. I'm sorry. Connivances. What the heck? Connivance. The act of conniving. Okay. Woo. All right. The act of conniving. Connivances. All right. But through luck and his own connivances, Richelieu survived. One of the key conspirators was the man named Mirallac, the keeper of the seals. Richelieu could not imprison him without implicating the Queen Mother, an extremely dangerous tactic. So he targeted Mirallac's brother, a marshal in the army. This man had no involvement in the plot. Richelieu, however, afraid that other conspiracies might be in the air, especially in the army, decided to set an example. He tried the brother on trumped-up charges and had him executed. In this way, he directly punished the real perpetrator. who had thought himself protected, and warned any future conspirators that he would not shrink from sacrificing the innocent to protect his own power. In fact, it is often wise to choose the most innocent victim possible as a sacrificial goat. Such people will not be powerful enough to fight you, and their naive protest may be seen as protesting too much, may be seen, in other words, as a sign of their guilt. Be careful, however, not to create a martyr. It is important that you remain the victim, the poor leader betrayed by the incompetence of those around you. If the scapegoat appears too weak and his punishment too cruel, you may end up the victim of your own device. Sometimes you should find a more powerful scapegoat, one who will elicit less sympathy in the long run. In this vein, history has time and again shown the value of using a close associate as a scapegoat. This is known as the fall of the favorite. Most kings had a personal favorite at court, a man whom they singled out, sometimes for no apparent reason, and lavished with favors and attention. But this court favorite could serve as a convenient scapegoat in case of a threat to a king's reputation. The public would readily believe in the threat, or readily believe in the scapegoat's guilt. Why would the king sacrifice his favorite unless he were guilty? And other courtiers, resentful of the favorite anyway, would rejoice at his downfall. The king, meanwhile, would rid himself of a man who by that time had probably learned too much about him, perhaps becoming arrogant and even disdainful of him. Choosing a close associate as a scapegoat has the same value as the fall of the favorite. The fall of the favorite, I like that. You may lose a friend or aid, but in the long-term scheme of things, it is important to hide your mistakes than to hold on to someone who one day will probably turn against you. Besides, you can always find a new favorite to take his place. The fall of the favorite. Man, this right here, I think this law, we see very prevalent. We've seen it. And we let the people who are really behind the scenes, who are really behind what is happening, continue to get away because we fall for the favor. We fall for the scapegoat. I think this is one of those laws that we have to learn when it's being applied against us. Now, here's your image: the innocent goat. On the Day of Atonement, the high priest brings the goat into the temple, places his hand on his head, and confesses the people's sins, transferring guilt to the guiltless beast, which is then led to the wilderness and abandoned. The people's sins and blame vanishing with him. And then here's your authority. Here is your authority on today's lesson, or today's law. Folly consists not in committing folly, but in being incapable of concealing it. All men make mistakes, but the wise conceal the blunders they have made, while fools make them public. Reputation depends more on what is hidden than what is seen. If you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be good, be careful. Now, again, we've gone through the law number 26, keep your hands clean, and we'll actually be picking up on part number 2 tomorrow, which is make use of the cat's paw. I don't know exactly what that is, but we will read it tomorrow to get some more keys to power. And the whole goal of us going through this book, guys, is for us to understand when these laws are applicable to our life, but then also when they're being applied against us, so we can always operate from a position of power. Well, guys, this is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, saying thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, today's episode is brought to you by True Detergent. True Detergent, black-owned and manufactured right here in the Atlanta area. And we also have Coral Oil, the black toothbrushes. And here's the deal: you're gonna wash your clothes anyway. You're gonna brush your teeth anyway. The question is, are you going to use them? Are you going to practice what you preach by circulating your dollar right back within your very own community and go ahead and make the switch? Make the switch to True. Make the switch to Coral Oil. Give us a call, 678-851-2400, 678-851-2400. One call, that's all. Make the switch. Well, guys, I want to remind you that it takes a village and it starts with us. You guys will have a wonderful, wonderful day. Let's build as we climb together.